ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ welcome all those that are seen all those that are unseen all those that are seen but remain or wish to remain unseen. So welcome to our weekly session. So I want to focus on a little bit as we entering July, how we may consider the impact of the really the past determines the present, which determines the future. So the past determines the present, and the present determines the future. So if we look at the past few months have been and we find now uh, that transformation of that energy is now leading us towards a sense of openness and freedom. Yes, like movement, liberation, something that opens, but also a level of uncertainty and a level of frustration, a level of irritation. So I want to look at one, why are more and more people experiencing this level of irritation, the level of psychological stability or instability in some cases. And as the changes that were taken in the early stages with the furlough schemes and the mortgage holidays, etc., as some of these come to an end, the ramifications of those actions that were taken will become all too apparent. And these ramifications are the next wave of anger and next wave of change. So, Gurmat, the understanding and the wisdom through which I work with and communicate, provides us with an understanding of the human conditions at a really subjective level on how the mind works, how the mind is like a dynamic process of like changing energy, and how these changing energies are frequencies within our bodies, and these frequencies change the chemistry in our body, and that chemistry then gives rise to what we consider to be feelings, emotions, etc. But the reality of this emotional change is really just a duality, in other words. Fear is the feminine principle of this emotion. And the masculine principle of the same emotion is anger. So fear is receptivity, fear is withdrawal, fear is moving within yourself. Anger tends to be burst out, anger tends to be violent, and anger tends to be aggression. And more, these moments of aggression are becoming more and more visible, where um, social events that are taking place have been disrupted by police, or police have felt that there was a disruption to local community. So more and more alterations between the two groups. Again, sign of the rising anger. Now, Gurmat doesn't just provide you with the understanding of how the mind works and creates these emotions, but it provides you with an understanding of how we have a solution to that. So, the solution that we have to that begins with a number of key components. We cannot deal with, say, weeds in our garden if we don't have the right tools, if we don't understand what is a weed and what isn't a weed. We need to have some basic understanding. And this basic understanding is what is known as Tattva Vichar, the realization of what life is, existence is. So we go through our life with this notion that the body belongs to us. That I have possession. I possess my house. I possess my relationships. There's a level of possession that is inherent in the human psyche. This is called man, and the level of possession is that those things that you identify with. When these things are changed or threatened, this is what ignites the energy of anger. So anger does cannot exist by itself. Anger needs a trigger, and anger is the root cause of anger is when we are prevented from a desire, a wanting, either when we are threatened with what we possess or when we are desiring something and we are not allowed to get that. So this creates a level of anger. Now, anger makes you blind. Anger blinds you, and you will do things in anger that you would never do to another human being. So it is really valuable in this moment now that we move as we are transforming, as we are growing with the changing energy, as we are evolving in this moment. There comes a time when we as human beings, through our experiences, recognize that this body is a constant changing flow of existence, like everything else is. Nothing is permanent apart from the moment of now. There is nothing that you can possess and say, this is me or this is mine. All our understanding of the objective world is nothing but a concept. It's a figment of your imagination. And we can see this. The moment you go to sleep or the moment you meditate, all of this disappears. And all that remains is awareness. So your subjective experience is this awareness. So if we look at it from this side, and then anger, all the other emotions, etc., are really the kind of film that is being played within our field of awareness, and then we fuse with it. And this fusion is called manamuk. When the mind faces, when you identify with the content of your mind, when you identify yourself with the awareness, this definition could be gurmukh. Gur meaning awareness, consciousness. Mukh means again identifying with or moving towards it. So these concepts help us understand our inner space, but more important, also understand what is around us, as in what is going on. So I want to touch a little bit today on one, what is the trigger of anger? And now we have spoken that it is normally a spontaneous reaction when we are prevented from what we desire or what we intend to have. So this doesn't mean don't become desireless. No, no. On the contrary, what it's saying is do not attach yourself to the object of your desire. Do not attach yourself to the object of your desire. Because if you attach yourself to the object of your desire, one, it's going to produce fear, because where there is hope that I might get this, fear also accompanies it. So there's this dissonance, this it is inner conflict that we have. So in this inner conflict, the problem is it's not that it colors just our subjective experience and we can repress our emotions. Actually, it changes your biology. And it changes your biology, which makes you susceptible to infections, viruses, etc., etc., etc. So our our focus of bringing some of this understanding is one, that we have an understanding. Why are we meditating? We are not meditating in order to simply become, enlightened Buddhas or gurus or any of that stuff. We are simply, enlightenment means recognizing existence for what it is and recognizing your space within it. So, we have an understanding, and I will provide you with a few steps that I feel are really valuable in how we manage anger and what we can do to resolve anger. In fact, anger is not a bad thing. It's anger is a feedback mechanism. So it's telling you something. So we must get in touch with the anger. We can't repress it because it'll come out in another way. It'll come out as some illness. We can't blurt it out necessarily because that has other consequences. So what we tend to do is we look at anger for what it is. And one, you will notice that anger is always present in your body as a tension, as a tightness. It's normally near the chest or the solar plexus. If you feel threatened, it's normally lower down. If it's to do with relationships and stuff, it tends to be about here. If it's to do with loss, it goes a bit further down. So we can identify where we feel the anger. Then you will notice that with that feeling, with that what you would define as anger, with that tightness, physical sensation within the body, there is also a commentary that you are actually saying to yourself. There's some thoughts, and it's normally a story where you've been a victim, or someone's trespassed against you, or someone has uh, challenged your ego or identity. So those kind of things freak people out, and they get become very angry. This is why people kill each other over religions and political parties and even skin color. So anger is the motivator here, and anger arises when we attach ourselves to the outcome of the desire. So whatever you desire. So a good method to understand that bit is, if you get it, if you obtain the object of your desire, then you deserve it. If you don't obtain it, then really it's not ready for you. You are not right in the moment of now, or the moment of now is not appropriate to create a harmonious thing where you have whatever you desire. So have this openness. Get in touch with your anger. Wherever it is, notice the story, notice the desire behind it, notice what you want things to be different. If you want things to be different, this is normally a good trigger for anger. Now, anger may not come out as a full blown, out there, but uh, it's felt as an irritation. And this is what we're picking up now through the work that we're doing, is the level of frustration, irritation, and uncertainty. And this becomes the seed which ripens. And why will it ripen? Well, it will ripen for a number of reasons. One reason is because of the economic shift that is now starting to take place. As someone who is engaged in the commercial world as well, I have an understanding of some level of the dynamics behind the economic reset that seems to be in play. I'm not saying it's someone is doing it, but I'm saying it's in play. So we have to realize that there is something going on. And in this transformation, if we hold on to things that we want the way it should be, then you're going to get really frustrated. You're going to get angry. That anger is going to do you damage, and it's going to do other people damage. So, what is the solution? Well, first thing is, the routine that you begin with in the morning normally determines the whole of the day. This is known as a rat. This is the way of being. So if you wake up, get yourself sorted out, sit down, meditate for 10, 20 minutes, calm your mind, then the whole day is with that lens. But if you get up when the alarm, the traumatic noise of the alarm wakes you up and you suddenly jolt out, and then you're feeling a bit groggy because you've had perhaps too much to drink the night before, or a tiring day on the work, and then this perpetuates. And that morning, the way you wake up changes how the rest of the day is going to unfold. So it's really important to have a morning routine, a routine that nourishes the mind, meditation, a routine that nourishes the body and our emotions, and Qi Gong is the way forward. It's being kind to yourself. It is gentle to do. It is something that cultivates energy. Don't need to do it every day, but do it once in a while, every 2, 3 days in a week, or some yoga, just a few minutes, just to make sure you start the day in a disciplined way. And if you begin your day in a disciplined way, you will find that it has a huge impact on the rest of your day. So that's one thing. The second thing that we look at is what I discussed earlier on, which is listen to your anger. Don't suppress it. Don't necessarily express it. At this stage, observe it. And there is something quite wonderful that happens with anger if you observe it and you have enough um, presence to see it. And then there is a change where anger really does flourish into something like compassion or kindness. So we are going through this transformation. So the third thing, get in touch with your anger, look at where your anger is, look at its size, look at its color, look at the shape, look at what it's doing. Is it vibrating? So I objectify the feeling where it is, objectify it as a sensation, you know. And in doing that, you will make sure, one, that you have some level of clarity with which to look at what your story is telling you so you can make a rational choice. Is this is your responsibility? Now that's the word. Is your responsibility to challenge this because it is unjust? It compromises your freedom, or it compromises your health. Is this something that I need to challenge? Or is it that if you don't do this, then you simply react? And that reaction may be triggered on purpose in order for you to make a particular move, which then puts you at a disadvantage. So get in touch with your anger, have a morning routine. Meditation is absolutely critical. Know that things that are going to go around us, we will find people irritated, we will find people angry. It is better that we resolve, walk away, than to confront. At the moment, confrontations can take place because there is a level of irritation out, and rightly so. And rightly so. I would like to explore later on, perhaps not today, how these um, actions undertaken by officials and officialdom and for the safety of you and me, um, how the psychological component hasn't really been considered. Nor has it been not been considered. The impact of the psychological component is um, uh, is significant unless individuals take some level of responsibility. And really, that's really what the Flame Center is trying to do, is just saying, you know, it looks like these are the circumstances we're in. And we've been relatively, I would say, being able to assess how the situation will be transforming and changing from the start to now. So there is a level of understanding in what is happening. So it's not just something that we just make out, but there is a way of tracking this. And this is what I'm trying to also communicate. That Gurmat, the worldview that the Sikh mystics have presented and the gurus have presented, is so profound in understanding the human condition and what it means to be human. What it means to be human will only be realized when we recognize that our entire life begins and ends with our mind. And unless you know what the mind is doing, you are blind to life. Man anda janam goaya. Because the mind is ignorant, blind, it loses the game of life. Because life is a game. But that's another story. Okay, so we work with anger, make sure that you're well equipped to deal with that, and let's now move into our meditation. And once again, thank you for everyone for supporting us, for sending us these really wonderful messages of friendship and companionship, and it means a lot. It means a lot. It means a lot to the center. It means a lot to everyone who is putting anything into it. And from all people around the world, we are genuinely heartfelt grateful for that. And we will continue as long as we can. The Tuesday session will not be happening for the next 8 weeks, as there is something else that I'm engaged in during that time. But the Thursday and the Sunday, we hope to continue as we normally do. So um, let's begin with our meditation. And again, today we are again moving towards presence. We are moving towards presence. So we are consolidating that part of our sense of self. Okay. So as you begin, make sure eyes are closed, mouth is closed. Take a normal, slow, deep breath in. Don't rush it. And as you do this again, bring your focus to yourself. Imagine your whole body filling up with that breath, all the way from the top of your head, all the way to the tips of your toes. So, with every breath in, you sense your body. Okay. Allow your body to relax a little bit, soften a bit. Take a moment to sense your whole body as best as you can, to be present to your body. To be present to the body would be a better description, since the body is constantly changing. The body doesn't belong to anyone. A vehicle. Notice how this body, you can sense the feet, you can sense your knee, how you can sense your back. See if you can notice anything dominant in the body, like an ache, a pain, a tightness, an itch. Now bring your focus to the chair that you're on, and let's just embed ourselves in reality or in existence, perhaps would be better. Notice how you are fixed in the place you're sitting, held in place. Not only just held in place with the ground, but you held in place with all that's around you. But you can only breathe the air that's around you. So you're held in place by the air. You're held in place by the space that you occupy. The environment around you holds you in place. And this moment of now, your body was influenced just a few moments ago by the past. So this body connects you to all that exists right now. Whatever you're sitting on, the air around you, space around you, everything that exists right now, you are part of the whole. You are in the whole. And this moment, this body now, was made from the moments of yesterday and the day before and the day before. So it connects you all that has ever been. This moment of now, this body connects you to all that ever will be. Just take a moment to allow yourself to embed in the moment of now and here. Realizing that you are contained in the ocean of existence. And this ocean of existence is compassionate. Bring your focus to the chair that you're sitting on. Notice the sensations in the body. Move your awareness upwards towards the hips. Move it down as you breathe out, down your thighs. From your knees, move down to your ankles, coming to your feet, coming to the soles of your feet. Come back to whatever you're sitting on. Notice your bare back is upright and straight. Bring your focus to your lower back. As you breathe in, take it up towards the middle back. And as you breathe in, take it up to your shoulder blades. Moving to your elbows, from your shoulders, down to your wrists, coming to the palms of your hands, coming to the fingers on your hands. Bring your focus to the back of your neck. Pull your chin in, notice the back of the neck stretching slightly. Move your focus towards your eyes. Notice the darkness. Allow this part of the body to soften and relax. Move your focus to your jaw. Allow it to soften. Move your focus to your mouth, your tongue. Allow your tongue to soften. Notice the sensations on your tongue, sensations on the roof of your mouth, on the inside of your mouth. Allow your face to relax. Coming back to your breath. And as you breathe in, once again become present to your body. Notice how it feels. Bring your focus to your chest. Notice how you feel in the moment of now. Do you feel pleasant, happy, settled? Does it feel unpleasant, unhappy, unsettled? Is there a frustration? Is there an irritation? Or is there peace and tranquility in the moment of now? Next, just open your awareness, begin to listen to the sounds around you. With the help of this bell, following the sound of the bell as far as you can, and see if you can notice the silence. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose and simply begin to watch the breath. Your commitment, intention is to hold your focus as best as you can and to become aware of the breath as it moves in and as it moves out. Stay with your breath, holding your focus with a little bit of effort, disciplining the mind, watching the breath move in, watching the breath move out. Stay with your breath. Notice how the breath breathes by itself. Allow it to breathe by itself. Allow it to flow by itself. Notice that the in breath has a start and the out breath has a start and an end. You can notice the gap. Bring your focus to your out breath. Follow it all the way till the end. And notice that gap before the in breath begins. Allow every out breath to move you deeper and deeper into that gap. Move yourself deeper and deeper into that gap. The gap at the end of your out breath. Notice how you're breathing now. Notice if your breath feels fast or slow. Notice if your breath feels long or short. Becoming one with the breath. Does your breath feel short? Feel smooth or does it feel erratic? Does your breath feel warm or does it feel cold? Does your breath have a sound? Just the intention to listen to your breath allows you to become absorbed in your breath, listening to the in breath as it comes in, listening to the out breath as it goes out. On your next breath out, open your awareness, begin to listen to the sounds around you. And we'll use the bell again to move into the silence and the stillness from where we can become present. Allow your awareness to simply merge with the moment of now, the moment of stillness and silence. And again, in this moment of stillness and silence, notice how everything around you follows the pattern of start, middle, end, constant change. All the sounds, all the movement, yet you remain still and silent, present to the change around you, present to your body that is changing with existence itself, flowing. Notice there is the absence of fear and the absence of anger. This moment is not created, but it creates itself from itself. The moment of now is always eternal. And to be in this moment and to be present to your presence is grace itself, benediction itself. It is the essence of you. And the essence of you is no different to the essence of the source. Gently bring your focus back to your breath. Notice how you're breathing. Notice again how the breath breathes by itself. While the breath is changing, you remain still in your awareness. Bring your focus to your body. Notice you're still sitting in the same place. You can sense your legs all the way down to your feet. You can notice that the back is still straight and upright. Shoulders, arms, hands are relaxed and comfortable. Eyes are still closed, mouth is still closed, face is still relaxed. Breath comes in, breath goes out. Breath comes in, breath goes out. Notice how you can sense your body as the breath comes in, and you can sense your body as the breath goes out. Follow that for a few breaths, slowly becoming present to our body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in, and in your own good time, opening your eyes. Take your time. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Before I go, I would like to dedicate this meditation to my sister Jagdeep from Kiratan and this peace that we felt, for she brings so much peace to the world through her music and her Kirtan and Gurbani, and Amrit, her husband. So, Kiratan, please join them. It's a special day for them. And going back to anger, all I will say is never sleep on anger. Resolve it. Look after yourselves. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. And know you are looked after and blessed. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,